YouTube, how the fuck you doing? It's your boy Prodigy, and we're here for the first video of a series that I'm trying to do. It's gonna be called Outnumbered but Outplayed, where we go through and we break down film of some of the most elite players in Apex. We're gonna see what they do good, break down their mental, see what they're thinking as they're going through these plays. 1v2s, 1v3 situations, and we're definitely going to get better. We're going to learn, and let's get started. So the first person that we're going to look at is Taisheen. um Taisheen is by far one of the most skilled mechanically, and his decision making with less is among the best in the game. This first clip is him as Octane. It's a 1v3 situation where he's literally getting, I mean, I'll show you, but it's not an impossible situation to get out of, but very sticky situation. So let's just kind of get started. All right. So before we even start, right, let's just kind of like take a second and let's look at where everything is kind of playing, right? So if you look where zone is going to end, right? So zone's clearly going to end right here, right in the dead middle. So pretty much right here in this open plane is where zone's going to end, okay? Now, this team is in front of him. So he knows that he has to play this rock right here for cover. He knows this. There's nothing else he can do, right? He can't go over here to the left. There's no cover. He can't go over here to the right because there's no cover, right? So he has no choice but to play here. This team has to leave their high ground because zone's coming in and it's cutting off all of this. So they have to leave, okay? Um so let's see what he does, right? By the way, his loadout, wingman PK. Unless you're really, really good with either of those guns, 1v3 in this situation with this loadout is very difficult. Like, you have to be very, very good in order to be able to even pull off this with a wingman and a PK. Because both of those guns, when you miss a shot with them, it's very unforgiving. So he knows this. Obviously, he's good enough to pick up both of those guns and do what he has to do. But let's see what he does. All right, shoots the first guy. So, okay, already looking at this in my head, and I'm pretty sure in his head as well, he sees that these guys are walking up one by one, right? They're walking up one by one. What he has to do is just hit his shots. They have no cover. They're walking towards him with no cover, and he has head glitches, right? One by one, they're coming straight at him. All right, so hits the first guy 2 times, okay? Now they're starting to split up, right? So let's see if we can go back right here. All right, so he sees this guy over here that he's going over to his right, okay? So he knows that he has a short amount of time to be able to put some shots on this guy before he gets close enough to his rock on his right. Okay? He has enough time to be able to switch really quick and shoot this guy right here. He misses all of his shots, but like I said, he's aware enough to know that, okay, there's a guy coming up on my right. So mentally, he's already thinking, what am I going to do, right? All right. He has his PK charged out and ready to go because he knows that there's a guy possibly coming to his right. And this team is definitely it's going to close in on him, right? They know it's one guy. There's no point in being scared. Push him. First guy pops up in his face. hits him for 117. Okay. Now, I'm pretty sure this is the Watson. He hit the Watson for 117. Downs him immediately. Now it's a 1-on-2, 1v2. This is a situation that he wants, right? What you guys want to start doing when you're in these kind of situations, these 1v2s, 1v3 situations, is singling these dudes out, right? Now, either that's because of your own doing, you single them out because of how you position, or sometimes these guys put themselves in bad situations and it helps you. So like I said, in this situation, he didn't have to, he didn't have to over peak over this rock to get a 1v2 situation. This Watson pushed him directly. So he was able to luckily have a charged up PK shot, hit him directly in the head, 117, knock him easy. Okay. He knows that he can hear the footsteps as well, right? He can hear the footsteps, right? So 117, he hears the footsteps coming to his right, okay? He knows that that's naturally the other place they're gonna go. So he's already ready for that. Hits the rate for 110. Doesn't continue to re-peak from where he was at. Pay attention to that. He doesn't continue to re-peak and give the Wraith an opportunity to know exactly where he's going to be the second time he shoots. Watch this. 117 or 110, sorry. Climbs up an extra level, okay? Doesn't give these guys any chance to get any closer to him or give these guys any chance to know where he's going to re-peak, okay? 110, hits the rate for 110. Repositions higher, right? The higher you go, the better it is for you in certain situations, especially like this, right? Because the higher you go, the more of a headshot you can be able to hit. Hit him for 110, then 56. Okay? So that's now a 2 guys out of the way. 2 guys out of the way. Now it's a 1v1. All right? He hasn't pulled out his wingman yet, right? He knows that they're close enough to where, like, with the way that rock is placed, charging up the PK in that situation is better than just shooting the PK, right? It's better than just shooting it. He knows that. It takes them longer to get around to get angles on him, so it's better for him to already have the PK charged up. It's not as though he doesn't have enough cover to where he has to just, shoot off a shot without having it charged up. So that's the only reason why he's charging the PK up. One, obviously to get more damage because the situation is, he's outnumbered, right? But they have it's a longer time for them to be able to get around to him to get to those angles. So he has enough time to charge up the PK in this situation, right? So now it's 2 guys out of the way. Watson's gone, Rafe's gone. He doesn't hear any self-reses. Keep that in mind. He's paying attention, he's listening. He hears no self-reses. So he knows that he's okay for right now, right? Nobody's trying to self-res around him. So he's paying attention to that as well. He sees his Octane right here in the open field. Let's see what he does. Doesn't shoot him. He doesn't shoot him, right? He does not shoot this guy. The reason why he did not shoot this guy is because, one, he realized that it's safer to heal. Just in case somebody has a self-res, it's best that he heals fully anyway, right? This Octane has full HP. Octane has not taken any damage from him. And if he did, by then he's already healed, right? So it's a 1v1. He doesn't know necessarily if the Wraith has self-res. When he re-peaks back down, or when he dips back down this rock to heal, he sees that this Watson has blue armor or a blue knockdown. So he's irrelevant. This Watson, throw him out of the way. He's not even in the game anymore. Don't have to worry about him. Make sure he's good. He heals, okay? Pops the battery. He's taking his time. He's watching his angles. Okay, so That was my fault. That was not an octane. That was a lifeline. Now, this kind of situation, when you're playing lifeline, this is before the update where she had her res shield. It's a good thing in his favor because he's out in the open, right? He put himself in the open to push this lifeline. But he can use this shield to his advantage, okay? Just like you would a Gibby shield where you peek in and out, he can use this to peek in and out of the shield. So now she's going for the res. He knows this. He's got 2 shots in his PK. So he has to reload his PK or switch to his wingman. And I'm pretty sure he did not reload his wingman, so he's probably got 6 shots left. Misses the first shot, but does not try to reload the PK because in the open like this, it takes too much time to reload the PK. What does he do instead? Switches to his wingman. So he's got 3 shots in his wingman, not 6, 3. Now that's ballsy. He uses those last remaining shots in his wingman to shoot the guy that's down. And he doesn't try to like pull out another gun that's not reloaded to shoot the octane. He defaults to punching him because it's faster, it does more damage, and he already did enough damage with the wingman, right? He's got enough shield right here to where by the time this lifeline shoots at him, he can already still be up and shield swap. So now it's a 1v1. Octane's out of the way, 1v1, lifeline. He instantly goes, so he doesn't even shield swap from the box. He instantly realizes that he has enough time to boost past this lifeline, go to the rock, and get high ground, right? Use cover, get high ground. Lifeline has no desire to even push him to kill him. The only thing she's focused on is trying to res her teammates in a 1v1 situation. Now, in my opinion, that's a very bad thing from her because you got a 1v1 situation. You already had this guy weak. You let him run away. There's no point in letting him run away. Go for him and try to kill him, right? But she's making these small mistakes that will probably end up costing her, right? So he takes high ground on this rock. Now he hears the res, knows it's now going to be a 1v2 again. He makes sure that he's good up top on this rock. He has enough time. He has enough time right here. He has enough time. The storm will be on his back, but he has enough time. This is a slow zone coming in, right? So he can play this for a good couple of seconds, which is enough time in a fight, okay? He pushes directly out. He pushes directly out, knowing that he has this for cover, okay? He has this shield for cover. So there was no point in him keeping the rock at this point, right? He knows he has this shield right here for cover, and he can literally do the same thing he just did to the octane, okay? He decides that he doesn't want to heal, right? He doesn't want to heal. Make sure his wingman's reloaded, and he goes straight for the shots on the lifeline. Misses 2 shots. Finishes the ray for the 110 shot. Instead of him standing straight up and shooting at this lifeline, he ducks so that any shots that she shoots go straight over his head, right? So he can take less damage. And I'm pretty sure he's aiming for the shield swap. Now, that move right there, that slight adjustment right there that he made, the slight adjustment he made, knowing that, look, this part of the ground slides down, okay? He knows that part of the ground slides downward. He's able to get the shield swap and also do just the slightest bit of movement to throw this lifeline off, but just enough to just get the shield swap, slide off of her movement to avoid shots. Looks back up, hits all of his wingman shots, clutches it up, right? But like the main things that you're gonna always probably hear me say when I'm making these videos is he was able to do a lot with less, right? He was able to do a lot with less. But the reason why he was able to do a lot with less is because of his confidence, right? He has confidence knowing that he's been in many of these situations that he knows that he's come out on top. He can win these, right? So he has the confidence not only in his mechanical skill, right? But also knowing that one, like he's been in these situations before, he can win these. A lot of players who are trying to get to the higher level, they lack confidence because they also lack experience, right? They don't have the experience of 1v2 and 1v3 and teams, and they don't have anything to fall back on as experience. But Taisheen is able to do a lot with less. You know what I'm saying? He's able to do a lot with less because he has the confidence and the mechanical skill to back up that, right, to hit his shots. So what you guys have to be paying attention to is your surroundings, right? Pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to what characters are who, because a lot of those things can play a factor in whether or not, you can win the game or not. He used Lifeline against herself, right? He used her shield against her own self. Not once did that Lifeline play her shield in order to fight him. She would always res, back off of her shield, and be in the open for an easy shot. While every time she resed, if you look, every time she resed, look at where he's at, close to the shield. Look at where he's at, close to the shield. And then look at where she's at, right? All the way in the back, away from the shield. He's close enough to the kill to finish that, to make it a 1v1. He's close enough to here to where he has cover. She's nowhere in cover. Get what I'm saying? These are the kind of things that high-level players are paying attention to. But all of this happens in seconds, right? He's not thinking about it. It's just instinctual, right? It's just repetitions. So impossible kind of clutch. But because he had, his mechanical skills, his confidence, and the ability of experience, he was able to easily just win this game and outplay these guys. So there's another clip that I want to get to. So this is a Loba game, and I can't remember. I think he dropped a 20 bomb this game. I believe he dropped a 20 bomb. But yet again, you're gonna find that he was able to do a lot with less, right? And I it's hard for me to like explain that, but like it's an emphasis when it comes to these high level players where they do a lot with less, right? So as you notice, okay, he has a PK and he has a flatline. All right. There's two more other squads left. He has 17 kills, right? Look at where Zone is. He's in the smack dab middle. Okay. Now he has this to play. He has this to play. And he has like here to play, right? There's no point in him going to the sides because you're gonna need to play inside of this place anyway, right? There's no point in going to the sides because they lead outside. There's no point in doing that. So he knows this, right? So he plays inside, okay?
For 190, at least. They're still not fighting, you're joking. Okay, good. Actually, don't fight, man.
So these teams start to fight now, right?
For real.
He's looking for his opportunity, okay? He's one guy. He's looking for his opportunity. There's no point when you're in this kind of situation that you need to rush anything, right? You let the game come to you. Okay, so he hears these guys fighting. He's looking for his opportunity. He hears it and he goes to go see what's up, okay?
One bullet.
He has one shot in his flat line. One bullet in his flat line. Now, keep in mind, he is Loba, okay? He's got 8 seconds or 8% left before he gets his ult. one bullet in his flatline, a full mag in his PK.
One hit.
Misses the first little bullet. You know, that's just for funsies, right? It's just for fun. But now he has to switch to the PK and do some damage, okay? He just got scanned, so he knows that he can't do too much right now. What you want to do when you get scanned against a Bloodhound is wait until the scan is off of you, right? Because in the meantime, while you're getting scanned, the Bloodhound and his teammates can see your whole movement. So you want to wait. You want to wait, do as less as possible, and just wait, right? He's looking for angles, hits this guy for 71. He doesn't overcommit because he just has a PK. So, like I said, what he's trying to do is wait for his ult. Like I said, look at the storm, look at the zone, right? Look at the zone, okay? He has to go back from where he came from to go into the zone. These teams are behind the zone, okay? So they all have to come towards him. So this guy, he's sniping with a triple take. And then so there's two guys on that bridge. He's sniping with the triple take as well. So there's nothing he can really do, right? He has a PK and no bullets in his flatline. So he's just trying to poke shots and just, see what he can do, right? Get some damage. His ult comes up. There's 50 seconds left on the zone. He decides to move towards zone. He uses his ult. Now, like I said, keep in mind where the zone is, okay? He's right here at the edge of zone. These teams are still fighting back here. But like I said, he needs ammo, right? So he retreats back, doesn't do too much and overcommit. These two teams are starting to fight it out. Nobody's gone down yet. He knows this. He gets the heavy, grabs an arc star. Remember this if you don't remember a lot about this game, but when it comes to like grenades, arc star is number one, best grenade in the game. It can do multiple damage to multiple people with one arc, depending on where you stick it and how you stick it. Frags or thermites are probably second. Frags are probably last. Okay, but you always want to have arcs, especially when you're in this kind of situation where it's one, it's a 1v2, 1v3, 1v4 situation, because with arcs, you're able to stick one person, and if somebody's close by, they can also take damage as well, right? So with one utility, you can do multiple damage to multiple people. And in a situation like this, you need that. So he's going back up. He's looking for these guys. He knows he has time. Okay, so he notices there's one guy on the bridge. There's 20 seconds left on zone. All right, so he knows, look. There's a guy over here. Path just zipped up here, right? That's two people that he knows where they are. There's still two squads left, okay? But he knows that there's a path here. There's a guy over here. So his focus turns to the guy that's mid-air, right? Because while this guy is mid-air, he's exposed. He can't pull his gun out. He can't do anything. He's exposed right now. All right, so he cracks this guy, takes a little damage from the third guy, but now he knows where at least where three guys are. He knows where they are, right? He knows. There was a guy to the left, the path. Guy right beside the path, like behind the path, and then a guy on the bridge to the right. So he knows, okay, where those three guys are. Crack the path, but like I said, you can't overcommit. You can't push one of those guys in this situation because there's still another squad in play. So he backs off, and I'm pretty sure he heals. He's popping the battery. He's just taking his time. These guys have to come his way, so he's just taking his time. Yet again, this is where his mechanical skill is coming into play, right? So he gets his bat off, and he doesn't immediately try to look to run, but he immediately looks towards that way to see if he can get some damage on somebody, right? like I said, the Storm's on their back. He's trying to do damage because it's going to force this team to feel like they have to be rushed. Okay? They feel pressured and they feel rushed. If he can do damage to one person, it'll stop him from probably trying to push up. So if you can stop one person from trying to push up on him, and it's two guys coming at him, that's better for odds, right? 2 against 1 versus 3 against 1. That's better any time of the day. So he knows this. He doesn't stay behind this because it's too small of cover. Instead, he defaults to go back up towards where his ult is, also keeping high ground against these guys, right?
Took care of that one.
Doesn't go for loot. Let me emphasize that again. He could have went for loot, but he doesn't go for loot. He knows that he cracked somebody on that team coming in. Going for loot eliminates you from doing a lot of stuff. Looking at the team, knowing where they are, being able to put damage into them, right? It gets your eyes off of what you really need to be focused on. He has enough ammo to do what he has to do. He has 21 in the clip, 100 total. He's got his Peacekeeper shots. He's still got 3 arc stars. There's a lot of players loot for the sake of looting in situations where they don't need to do it. And they put themselves in a situation where, their teammates can't help them or they die, right? So he doesn't over loot. All right. He realized that the guy he shot and cracked is still flesh. Hasn't healed yet. He realizes that. Okay? He takes a lot of damage here. Now he goes for more ammo.
I'm already in the next ring. Recharging my shield.
He's popping some cells, okay? He hears them fighting right now. There's one down. He's not full HP, right? Like he's not full HP. Now, look at what the Arc Star was able to do in this situation. He throws the arc, looks towards the right, guy peeks back, he's not able to get a shot. So he turns back where the guy was that he threw his Arc Star at, right? Because he's anticipating damage. Shoots the guy that he had flesh. Then quickly target switches and looks at the guy right behind him, okay? Cracks him. And he also notices that guy is getting shot from the guy he just saw that ducked in cover. So it's now 2 guys shooting at one. Also gets him down. That's 2 guys down. There's still 2 other squads left. But that's 2 guys down off of 1 squad. He turns his attention back to the same guy who just re-peeked. Throws his arc because he knows this guy has to come in from this area, right? Like if you look, you see Storm is coming in, right? Storm's coming in. This guy has to come forward. He has to. Or else he's just going to take damage and die, right? But he preemptively throws an Arc Star in the area where he has to come at. Because he knows that he's going to either tank the damage and he's going to be weak anyway, or he's going to run through that Arc Star and take damage. So either way, he's going to take damage, right? Or he can take double damage. Take damage from the Storm and the Arc at the same time, right? Coming out of this corner, he's going to be slowed if he takes damage from that Arc Star. By the way, pay attention. He has gold mag in his flatline, okay? So he hasn't reloaded manually, right? He's just waiting, I'm assuming, for his flatline to reload on its own. His Arc Star did no damage to that guy trying to come in. It was a missed throw. He got cued by the Valkyrie, but he was able to obviously dodge that from in cover. Looks to his right to realize if there was a guy coming that way. He was able to do 52-14. Missed a couple shots, but did major damage. Finishes off the solo. Now, 1 squad left. Now, he got 2 guys off of this squad dead. So right now, it's a 1v1 situation. This whole time, he has not left this high ground at all. Keep that in mind. The clip before, he held height for as long as he could, right? And it's not even height necessarily, but it's cover. It's the position that he was in, right? So if you look at this, he's been in zone for 2 to 3 minutes, farming damage for 2 to 3 minutes, while all of these teams had to come up from back here, right? They had to come up from back there. So he was able to stay where he was, knowing that these teams had to come to him and he did all that damage in that short amount of time. So he knows it's a 1v1 situation. He sees one guy who has a shield up. He sees a guy who does have a shield up and is purple. So he knows that guy doesn't have self-res. He's out of the game, right? But the other guy, he sees him in the back with no shield up. He shot him just to do a shield check, right? Just to make sure he didn't have gold, okay? You'll see it here. He's just shooting him just to make sure he doesn't have shield. That's all, right? He's just making sure to see he doesn't have gold shield. So, he can't sneak up and get up on him. He realizes that one guy has purple, one guy has blue. No point in trying to shoot a knockdown, a guy that's knocked down that's pretty much out of the fight. Okay? There's no point. You're just gonna waste ammo. There's no point. Right now, he has no shield and a little bit of HP. What I'm assuming he's thinking is he needs to prioritize being as close to full HP as he can, because this is a situation where, you just want to be safe and you want to make sure that, like, you can secure the dub. So see, he's looking for heals, but he doesn't have any. So he puts his second ult down. One of the guys who's down, he dies. Does a shield swap, grabs another arc star, okay? This guy that's down low has not yet once tried to pressure him up top. He hasn't tried to climb up the stairs. He hasn't done anything, right? He's continued to stay down there in a bad position. Like I said, Taisheen's in the middle of zone for the most part. This guy has to move. Regardless, he has to move up this way. Taisheen shield swaps to a purple. Pretty much he's full HP. He has enough ammo in his flatline and PK to finish this guy off. Hits all of his shots. Pathfinder panics, and it's the same path from earlier. GG.
Let's go. We're going crazy. Going fucking crazy.
And he's able to win that game simply because of positioning, and also, like I said, being able to do a lot with less, right? But patience. I think patience in this fight was probably, one of the key things for sure, right? He didn't rush anything. He was very patient, and knowing that those guys had to come to him, right? He couldn't be mad aggressive, because by the time he was able to get his ult and everything like that, the storm was coming in, so those guys had to move forward, right? If he pushed in, he would have put himself in a bad position and he would have died for the most part, probably. But like I said, he played smart, played where he was in the middle of zone. He knew he had nobody behind him. They were all in front of him. All he had to do was just play cover, make sure he had ammo, hit his shots. He was confident in hitting his shots, and he won that game. And I'm pretty sure this was a, 22 kill game, 6,000 damage, 23 knocks, right? So like I said, like, the main things that a lot of these high level players do well, positioning themselves in the right areas, right? They position themselves in the right spot. They take their time. They're very patient, take their time, but also they know, they can do a lot with less. Like, learn to do a lot with less. But in order to do a lot with less, you have to, like, hit your shots. So you have to mechanically be there. You have to hit your shots. And like I said, he was aware of his surroundings. Constantly, he was aware of his surroundings. He wasn't caught off guard at all. He was aware of his surroundings. In both clips, he was aware of his surroundings. And he took advantage of those guys who didn't. So, like I said, guys, I hope this helps. And I really like doing this. And I look forward to doing more of this. Taisheen's up for right now, but I'm definitely looking into others. But thank you guys so much. Hit the like button. Hit the fucking like button. YouTube, I'm out.